Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm Danielle and in today's video we are doing sort of a grocery haul roundup. So I did go to two places today. One of them was the simple one of Lidl and the other one was Costco to stock up on quite a few different bits and bobs for the space of a number of months as well. So I will do it so I show you first what I got on in Lidl and then what I got in Costco, and then we can go over sort of a rough meal plan for the week as well. I didn't do a meal plan in advance just because of the fact that I was wanting to see what I got from Costco in the end, to be able to figure out meals from there, as well as kind of trying to figure things out based on the weather. Just as you might be able to tell from out here, the weather has got a lot better in the UK recently, and it's sort of shifted much more into that kind of spring, summery sort of weather at the minute. So that will be impacting my food choices a little bit as well. But I will go into that after we've gone through everything that I did get in Lidl and Costco. So here is everything that I did end up getting in Lidl this week. As you can see, there's a fair number of items and it came to just under £30 for the total spend. That does include some non-food items as well. So we do start with that celery, as well as some reduced VAT soft cheese. See where it is getting to the nicer weather, these will be a wonderful way to either incorporate into meals or as lunches or something as well. But definitely running with the better weather theme, I also picked up some baby corn because they'll be able to go into something quick like a stir fry or something as well. Then there's things like mongetu, again, a pretty quick, simple thing to put together. If I do want to put it on the side of an actual meal, then it doesn't feel sort of a wintry kind of vegetable, I suppose would be the best way to put it. And then I picked up some asparagus as well. Again, it feels like it's coming increasingly into season, and I figured it would be good to have it alongside something or other for a kind of freshish meal. On the warmer weather front again, I picked up some radishes as well. And I also picked up a nice big thing of baby plum tomatoes. Both of those will go well, as again, it's either part of a meal or as sort of lunches or even as part of snacks as well. Definitely trying to kind of think about snacks that I can have that aren't necessarily kind of the worst thing for me. I also picked up some more baby butter mushrooms. I didn't have any mushrooms left, and they're obviously pretty handy things to be able to incorporate into meals. I grabbed two fairly small loose baking potatoes. I'll probably end up potentially baking them or doing something else with them, but I'm not too sure as it stands. I then also picked up a tin of mushy peas. I don't necessarily have a plan for these mushy peas at the moment, but sometimes I will just end up heating them up for a lunch or something as well. Or I could potentially incorporate them into sort of a meal. I don't necessarily have any fish or anything, so they wouldn't be there. Then I picked up some more eggs as well, especially because there are some bits I got in Costco where I think it would go really well with some eggs. Then I just picked up some more feminine products because, well, eventually you run out of them, don't you? So I picked up some more. Then I also picked up 2 pots of Greek yogurt, just where the weather's definitely getting a lot better. I do want to make sure that I have sort of cold, refreshing breakfasts. Obviously, if I'm going to do it, so I'm doing some sort of overnight oats or anything, it'll be good to pop a little bit of yogurt into it all as well. And then, as you can see, I've still got a few more items to go, but then I did also pick up some more of those chicken quarter pounders. I haven't had these in quite a while. The last time I picked them up, I enjoyed them, and I figured they might be a nice thing to have. I might not necessarily put them into any bread, but I could put them with some salad or something. I also had this extra large box of 30 mini spring rolls, and where I have a little bit more time to kind of think about sort of lunches and things, figured I might end up doing it so I can put some of those into, say, the air fryer or something for one of my lunches at one point during the week as well. Obviously not all of them, just to be clear, but you get what I mean. And then I picked up some lightly salted tortilla chips. I'll probably end up doing a sort of nacho kind of dish with those, with some bits I picked up in Costco as well. And then the thing that isn't food related as such, I picked up this sushi making kit because I've got some sushi rice and I have the sheets. I think this might make it a little bit easier for me to be able to attempt to do my tuna sushi kind of round things that I've been doing a few times as well. Yeah, so that's everything. Like I said, just under a £30 spend. But now let me show you what I did end up getting in Costco, which is a far more painful amount. So the total amount I spent in Costco ended up being about £370, but just over 150 of that was the things that my mum picked up for her and her partner. So overall, my budget was at least a little bit better than that. But I did pick up some frozen things first, including this big thing of blueberries. I think there might be a hole in the bag somewhere because I kept getting blueberry juice all over myself. But then I also picked up some raw peeled prawns because they are something that I do enjoy from time to time, especially where the weather's getting a bit better as well. And then I also picked up a pack of 2 pizzas, which again, perfect for sort of a lazy day. Beyond that, I obviously picked up things like some bananas and some other sort of fruits and vegetables as well. And I will go through all of them with you as well. Like I said, that included this thing of bananas. And when I got them last time, I enjoyed them quite a lot. And they were obviously decent size for the price as well. Then I picked up some baby carrots to make sure that I always have some kind of a healthier, crunchy snack around. And yeah, this will obviously I'll be able to sort of chop them up smaller into other meals and things if I want or need to as well. Then I also picked up a pack of 5 avocados. These are obviously pretty decent sized avocados. They potentially need to be left a little bit for them to be ready to go, which works out perfectly for me because it'll give me plenty of time to eat them. But when I did pick up the eggs earlier in Lidl, it was partly because of the fact that I'd picked up the avocado as well as some bread that I'll show you in a few minutes as well. Then I also got some of these sort of olives, they're pitted and everything. I figured that the jars would also be a great size for me to be able to put some of my more sort of speciality rices into, say my paella rice, my sushi rice, something like that, instead of it being loose in the cupboard in packets as well. Then I picked up some sort of a duo of some squeezed lemon juice. I don't go through this a huge amount, but I go through it enough that I can get away with using it. Sometimes I'll put it into a pan or something instead of some oil, or I'll obviously put it straight into a bit of a meal as well, especially if I don't have any fresh lemons to hand. And this is the bread I was mentioning earlier. I picked up a brown sourdough bloomer. Just figured it'd be a nice change, and again, a tiny little bit healthier than perhaps some of the other bread I get in terms of gut health. Talking of that kind of thing, I also picked up some more chia seeds. I have been enjoying incorporating them into my overnight oats or into my yogurts and everything like that. So I wanted to get something where it was a little bit easier to manage with them being in a tub rather than in sort of a kind of a plastic bag as well. And then I've been trying to drink a lot more peppermint tea recently. It's supposed to be good for people with PCOS, and it's a tea that I enjoy anyway. So I did pick up a box of 240 peppermint tea bags. Gosh, I'm feeling incredibly out of breath today. I think it's bringing all of this stuff up 2 flights of stairs. But then I also picked up sort of a big set of coconut milk. There's 6 tins in there in total. I don't go through it super frequently, but I go through it frequently enough that I could get away with it. And then I got this huge thing of pork as well, sort of 2.3 kilograms, and I'm torn as to whether I'll do it into 2 or whether I'll do it into 4, just because obviously I will be able to then sort of, if I do it into smaller amounts, just kind of use it for a couple of days. If I do it into half, then it'll just mean I'll be able to have it for lunches and things as well. Then I also picked up some turkey mince. It's obviously slightly leaner than a few other minces that I get, and I'll probably keep some of it whole, but then I might prepare some of it into meatballs or burgers and put that all sort of prepared, frozen, so I have them ready to go whenever I want them. I also then picked up some easy peelers. As you can see, these are pretty hefty in size, so I'll probably only ever have one sort of at once, but I may end up having still sort of 2 across the span of the day. I also go through enough soy sauce that I wanted to pick up this nice big bottle. It's a 1.9 litre bottle. Like I said, I go through it enough that I can kind of felt it made sense, especially for the price point, especially because it works out slightly better quality than some other ones that I normally pick up as well. This is something that will probably last me a full year, and that is 5 litres of vegetable oil. Might even last me longer than that, especially because I lean towards olive oils, sort of sprays, lemon juice and things quite a lot. I don't tend to use a huge amount of normal oil, but it's handy for certain things, so I wanted to pick some more up. I also picked up, and this is a very boring one, I also picked up a huge amount of foil, just because I obviously use it for wrapping things up, putting it onto trays, anything like that. But then I'll also sometimes use cling film, and I am pretty much out of cling film as well. This is 400 meters of it, which means when I inevitably screw it up and end up having to take off several layers, it won't feel like I've wasted a whole roll. But because of the fact that I am trying to do a lot more prep in terms of meal prep, ingredient prep, all that kind of thing, I have got so I've done it. So I've got quite a lot of freezer bags, both in the small and the large size as well. I thought about just getting the small ones, but you know for a fact that if I only got the small ones, I would be cursing within a matter of days, wishing I'd had the large ones to hand as well. Sticking in the theme of the kitchen sort of stuff, I also picked up 12 rolls of kitchen roll, kitchen towel, whatever you want to call it. And these are super large sheet ones as well. So I'll only ever have to sort of use one sheet, hopefully at a time, rather than sometimes 2 or 3. But onto the snacks, I then decided to pick up some Love corn, some of the sea salt ones. There's obviously 30 snack packs in here, but I wanted to get something that was relatively low in calories, but would give me that good crunch for when I don't want necessarily something, say, like carrots. I then picked up 32 snack packs of the proper corn, some of the sweet and salty popcorn ones. Again, relatively low in calories, but a nice little bit of a treat. And then, just to mix it up, I also got some of the proper chips, the salt and vinegar lentil chips, and then the barbecue lentil chips as well, with 16 of each flavour in the box for the 32 snack packs in there. And then the last item, possibly the most important, is this huge block of cheese. And I got this because I can chop it up into smaller blocks, grate it, do some freezing for all of those things, and just keep a small amount in the fridge as well. But yeah, that's, as you can see, obviously a lot of items. Like I say, it's £220 basically in total that I ended up spending. But I think overall, given how long certain things would last me, well worth the money. So as you can see, it definitely meant that I ended up pushing the price up for the total spend this week. But based on how it did end up balancing out, say, for the last few weeks from the last time I went to Costco, it ended up being worthwhile. And there are certain things, such as the turkey mince or the pork that I got, that will obviously be dividing up into a lot of different portions, or doing things like making them into meatballs and freezing them in advance as well. But obviously generally I went for a lot of sort of housey items, so the foil, the cling film, those sort of freezer bags, all those kind of things. Tried to think about things that I could have that I could store for a nice long time. And then obviously I also got a lot of snacks. I appreciate that that works out as being realistically about 3 months worth of snacks, somewhere between 2 to 3 months, depending on if I just ever have one or if sometimes I end up doubling up on certain days as well. But I did try to choose ones that were at least sort of low in sugar and everything, aligning with some of my other kind of aims in terms of losing weight and trying to focus on certain kind of numbers to go towards that as well. Compared to last time at Costco, I made sure that I avoided things like the mango lassi and all that sort of thing that was definitely really high in sugar, even though it was super tempting as well. But with that, I do intend to sort of, for my meal plan, do sort of a few pork related things. Like so I'm definitely going to roast up probably at least a quarter of it. I might end up doing half of it, and then I'll have enough for sort of, say, a stir fry or sort of a pasta dish, something like that. So it will be quite a pork heavy week. And then I might end up doing sort of a prawn paella or something. I'm still working my way through some paella rice. As you would have seen, I did also pick up a sushi making sort of kit in Lidl. And I also keep going on about trying to have another attempt at doing sort of the tuna sushi sort of bowl things I sometimes have done. So I'm going to actually give that a bit more of a go this time, now that I've got the kind of the mat that you can roll everything with. Hopefully that'll be a bit easier to do something that resembles what I want it to for those as well. Other than that, I am just going to kind of play it by ear a little bit this week. This week is also my first full week properly in my job rather than being in training for it. So I'm not too sure how kind of tired I'm going to be. I'm working the 8 to 5 shift, so I will have plenty of time in the evenings. But like I said, I'm just aware that if I end up being a little bit drained, then I don't want to commit to huge difficult meals or sort of anything like that. But all of the meals that I do end up cooking will be in next week meals of the week video as well. And if you are kind of interested in that sort of thing, I put one live yesterday where I was doing it so you were able to see all of the breakdowns for sort of the meals that I was having each day in terms of kind of the calories, the sugar content, everything like that as well. So if that is something that you're interested in, I will leave the card somewhere up around the corners for you. But do consider liking and subscribing as well so you can see them in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. Hopefully over the next few weeks it will decrease the amount I'm spending again. Probably won't be going back to Costco sort of next month or anything. Might be a bit longer away than that again. But like I say, it's all sort of things that will be lasting me a while that I do tend to purchase anyway. Just means I purchase them in a larger amount to save more in the long run. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Until I do see you again, do take care and bye for now.